Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well. So children, now that we know about ourselves, we know about our body, it is time to know about the places where people live, okay, or the bridges that have been constructed. Okay, so let's talk about it in this chapter. It's called House and Bridges. Alright, I know my house is made from dash and dash. And bridges are made from dash and dash. Find out this information and quickly fill in the gaps. Alright, now, children, in the earlier days, जब घर नहीं होते थे, okay, जब लोगों ने घर बांधना नहीं सीखा था पुराने ज़माने में, तो लोग क्या करते थे? They used to live in caves, okay, or they used to make a house of stone. बट उसमें क्या हो जाता था, समटाइम्स दे नेवर यूज टू फील सेफ बिकॉज एनिमल्स आ जाते थे, अटैक हो जाता था उनके ऊपर. सो दैट इज़ वाई देन दे थॉट ऑफ डिफरेंट वेज by which they could keep themselves safe. Okay, so earlier people lived in caves and made stone tools, okay, in the search of food and shelter. They moved from one place to another. Okay, तो जहाँ उनको खाना मिलता था, जहाँ उनको शेल्टर मिलती थी, वो वहाँ पे रुक जाते थे. स्लोली दे लर्नड हाउ टू ग्रो क्रॉप्स. ओके, इसकी वजह से उनकी मूवमेंट्स कम होने लगी. Okay, when they started producing their own crops, they could make their own food. Okay, so the search for food stopped, and then now the need, okay, developed to have their own houses. Okay, so then they began to live in permanent shelters. Okay, they used naturally available building materials like stones, mud, straws and wood to make their houses. Nowadays, people have started constructing structures such as multi-story houses, apartments, tall buildings, malls, flyovers, highways, etc. So, पुराने ज़माने के लोगों ने अपने लिए घर बनाने शुरू करे with the material जो उनके पास तभी available था, जैसे wood available था, okay, straw, मिट्टी, okay, तो उन्होंने उस टाइप की घर बनाना शुरू कर दी. और स्लोली जैसे जैसे लोग generations change हो गई, people progressed, and now people have started building different structures. Okay, big buildings are being constructed. So now let's see who are the people who are involved in the process of construction. Okay, the construction of a building is a huge job. Okay, it requires different types of building materials and efforts of many people such as skilled people like architect and unskilled people like laborers. तो एक बिल्डिंग बनाना सिर्फ एक आर्किटेक्ट का काम नहीं होता है. आर्किटेक्ट तो प्लान बनाता है, डिज़ाइन बनाता है, और उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कौन करता है? इट इज़ बीइंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड बाय द स्किल्ड और बाय द लेबर्स. ओके, जो लेबर्स होते हैं, मेसन्स होते हैं, अलग अलग लेबर्स इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, वही तो वो स्ट्रक्चर बना देते हैं. ओके, architect designs a plan of a house or building. The plan shows how the house or building would look from outside and inside. It shows the position of different rooms and the other areas according to the size of the land, location and number of family members. It also shows the position of doors, windows, gates and other corners in and around the house. So generally we call that the house plan, okay, the layout plan of the house, or the layout plan of the building or the society. Okay, now the plan needs to be approved before the construction work can begin. So in towns and cities, district authority and municipal corporations have to approve the building plans. तो जब municipal जो corporations होते हैं, district authorities होते हैं, अगर वो approve करते हैं and the plan has covered up all the points from safety perspective, only then वो building बनाने के लिए go ahead देते हैं. Okay, this is a necessary step to make sure that the design doesn't have any fault and the house could be safe. Okay, it should be a safe house. बिकॉज ऐसे भी किस्से हुए हैं जहाँ पे ऊंची ऊंची बिल्डिंग्स बनी हैं और उन्होंने कोई चीज़ों पे ध्यान नहीं दिया है, जिसकी वजह से द बिल्डिंग्स हैव कोलैप्स्ड, गिर गई हैं बिल्डिंग्स और बहुत से लोगों ने अपनी जान गंवाई है. ओके, दैट इज़ व्हाई इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट द बिल्डिंग्स that we live in are safe. Okay, once that is done, okay, once the safety thing is being taken care of and the authorities have approved it, okay, people can lay the foundation of a house and can hire skilled and unskilled laborers to start the construction. ओके धीरे धीरे फिर लोग आते हैं जो वो बिल्डिंग को खड़ा करने के लिए हेल्प करते हैं. ओके द मेसन, okay, mason is a person who along with some laborers starts to lay the foundation, walls, pillars and roofs of the house. Once these are built, okay, the basic structure of the building is complete. After the mason's work is completed, the carpenters come, the electricians come, the plumbers come and painters come. Okay, okay, they come to help in getting the inside of the building ready. Okay, now the carpenter, what does he do? He makes doors, windows, shelves, cupboards and other furniture. The plumber and his helpers fit the water pipes in the washroom and the kitchen. He also fits basins, taps, bathtubs, showers and other sanitary wares. The electrician does all the wire fittings and fixes switchboards, fans and lights. He also ensures कि कहीं पे भी जो short circuit होने के chances ना हो. Everything is done in such a manner that nobody can get any kind of shock. Okay, so that is the duty of electrician also. The painter paints the walls, roofs, doors, windows, frames, okay, with different colors. So to paint all these things, he uses different colors or maybe a single color, but he gives them a different look altogether. And after painting, the house looks really beautiful. Okay, now what is the building material and what are the tools that are required? Let's look at that. Okay, the construction of a building requires various raw materials. Concrete mixture is used for the foundation of the building. Iron and steel rods are used to reinforce the pillars of the structure in order to provide a strong framework. So just like we have a skeleton, which is the framework of our body, in a similar manner, okay, these iron and steel rods, okay, when they are mixed with concrete, okay, they help to build the foundation of the building. Okay, they help to build the pillars of the building, which make the building strong. Okay, it becomes the strong framework of the building. Okay, then bricks, cements, sand, marble and granite slabs etc. are used to make the walls, roofs, floors, kitchen slabs and the staircases. Wood and glass, they are used to make doors and windows. Steel is used to make railings or other fittings. तो देखो कितने सारे materials use होते हैं एक building बनाने में, alright, or to make a house. Now let's talk about how bricks are made. Okay, bricks have been used for the construction of buildings for many years. बहुत सालों से bricks use कर रहे हैं to make the construction of a building or a house. Okay, they are very important raw materials in the construction of any building. Okay, whether it is a big building or a small house, whatsoever. Okay, अब देखते हैं कि bricks बनाने का एक process होता है. जैसे हम pots बनाते हैं वैसे ही bricks बनाने का भी एक process होता है. A special kind of soil known as clay is required to make bricks. The clay is crushed into small particles and mixed with water. This makes the clay soft and can be molded in the shape of bricks. The mixture is put into in a molder. Okay, mold होता है ना जो shape देता है उस particular shape का, so that everything has an equal shape. इसके लिए molders use होते हैं. Okay, to obtain rectangular wet bricks. The bricks are dried up under the sun and later inside a special brick furnace known as kiln. Inside the kiln, bricks are baked in the fire. जैसे हमने pots बनाए थे, याद है आपको in our previous class, वैसे ही bricks बनते हैं, but they have a different type of clay that is being used here. Okay, and of course even these bricks are baked. Okay, the hot bricks are then cooled. Bricks become hard and strong, which makes them a perfect raw material for building the foundation walls of different buildings. Okay, now let's talk about different tools that are used by different workers. अलग अलग कामों के लिए अलग अलग workers जो है different types of tools use करते हैं. तो construction work requires different tools. Let us learn about these tools. The architect draws the plan using a drawing board, large sheet of paper, pencil and scales of different shapes and sizes. Now next comes the mason, who uses a trowel to spread mortar, which is a mixture of cement, water, sand and some other materials that hold the bricks together. Okay, तो एक mixture तैयार हो जाता है. You know, you must have heard of a cement mixture. तो उसमें वो mixture तैयार कर देते हैं जो bricks के बीच में लगा के एक layer बना देते हैं, and then that is how the bricks are held together. Okay, it is just like हम लोग जब किसी चीज़ को चिपकाने के लिए फेविकॉल यूज़ करते हैं, वैसे ही ये अपने मिक्सचर्स को यूज़ करते हैं. Okay, the carpenter uses tools like saw, chisel and plane. The electrician uses pliers, screwdrivers and test lights. The plumber uses hammer, wrench and pliers. The painter uses paints, brushes, rollers and spray guns to work. Alright, come on. Now that we have spoken about houses, अब टाइम आता है पढ़ने के लिए bridges के बारे में. Okay? क्या आप लोग लगता है कि कोई फ्लाईओवर आता है तो आपका टाइम बच जाता है? Yes, indeed. क्योंकि क्या होता है, हमें रेड लाइट पे रुकना नहीं पड़ता है, सिग्नल्स पे रुकना नहीं पड़ता है, and we can just cross over using the flyover, right? But it takes a lot of effort to build a flyover also or a bridges also. Let's see what are these bridges. Okay, bridges are the structure used to cross the rivers, streams, valleys or sometimes even seas. तो आप देखोगे अलग अलग seas के ऊपर भी bridges बनाए गए हैं. Okay, river crossing के लिए, streams के लिए, valleys के लिए bridges बने. Okay, अभी अभी cities में भी bridges बनने लगे हैं for a easy way of commuting. Now, in older times, bridges were made of wood, bricks and stone. These days, bridges are strong enough to carry heavy traffic, trains or just people, depending on what for is the purpose that they are built. Okay, constructing a bridge is not easy. It's just it takes a lot of effort. Okay, it needs a lot of planning, big equipment and a large amount of time and money. Bridges may be temporary or permanent. Just like घर बनाते वक्त safety rules को देखने पड़ते हैं, everything with regards to the safety is important. In a similar manner, when bridges are also concerned, they have to ensure, okay, that the safety comes first and many points are taken into consideration. Okay, it takes a lot of planning. Okay, now चलो देखते हैं first, which is a beam bridge. ये क्या होता है? Okay, it is a horizontal structure that rests on two piers, one on each end. Piers are square pillars. In past, such bridges were in form of a log across a stream. However, today beam bridges are made of steel and concrete. A beam bridge needs to be stiff so that it does not bend or twist under load. Next is the arch bridge. अब arch bridge को आप shape देखो कैसे है. Okay, arch bridges are one of the oldest type of bridges. An arch bridge is shaped like an arch. Okay, ऐसे arc बनता है उसका. It is a permanent bridge made of steel, concrete and bricks. They are very strong bridges. The Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia is one of the most famous and beautiful arch bridges in the world. Okay, so because of that structure, that bridge is held firmly. Okay, because if you see, it is going over the sea. So that is the reason why the structure of the bridge is constructed in that manner. Okay, next is the suspension bridge. Suspension bridges have roadways that hang from steel cables supported by high towers. Okay, the cables that are supported by towers are called main cables. ओके आप देखो बीच में इनके बड़े बड़े इन ब्रिजेस के साइड में बड़े बड़े टावर्स बने हैं जिससे वो केबल्स को उन्होंने जोड़ दिया है. Alright, and then the road has been made down so that they have that strength to hold the traffic on it. The suspended cables join the main cables to the roadways of the bridges. The Golden Gate Bridge and Brooklyn Bridge in the USA are famous suspension bridges. Ram Jhula and Lakshman Jhula in Uttarakhand are some historical suspension bridges of Bharat. Vidyasagar Setu in Kolkata is also a suspension bridge. Okay. Now, next is a cantilever bridge. Now, what is a cantilever bridge? It is made by sinking old boats filled with stones in the river to make piers. Okay. Using these as support, long beams of wood were placed in crisscross design till they reached the two banks. So, देखो इसमें पुराने ships का इस्तेमाल हुआ है. Okay, they have sank olden boats और जिसके ऊपर उन्होंने स्टोन रख के पियर्स रख के उसको सपोर्ट दिया है. ओके nowadays this design is being constructed with steel. आजकल स्टील इस्तेमाल हुआ है. पुराने ज़माने में log beams of wood was being used. Okay, now for example Howrah Bridge or Rabindra Setu, okay, is one of the busiest cantilever bridges in the world. Okay, तो ये जो ब्रिज है कोलकाता वाला उसको उस मेथड से बनाया गया है. Okay, now let's talk about temporary bridges. Some bridges are made of logs, wooden planks, bamboo and ropes. They are commonly found in forests to simply cross a stream or a small water body. A pontoon bridge is an example of temporary bridge. It is also known as floating bridge as it floats on water. Okay, these bridges are weak and unsafe for use. तो ये जो ब्रिज होते हैं जनरली रिवर क्रॉसिंग के ऊपर जो होते हैं ये बहुत वीक होते हैं. हमें बहुत संभाल कर जाना पड़ता है एंड यू कांट हैव टू मैनी पीपल यूजिंग दैट ब्रिज बिकॉज दे आर टेम्पररी ब्रिज. उसमें ऐसा मटेरियल यूज़ नहीं हुआ है जो फर्म हो. सो वेन एवर यू आर यूजिंग सच अ ब्रिज फॉर एनी रीज़न आपको ऐसा ब्रिज यूज़ करना पड़े तो यू हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल. ओके, नाउ फाइंड आउट from your grandparents what kinds of bridges were there when they were young. And let's look at a fact zone now. Boggy Wheel Bridge is the longest rail cum road bridge of Bharat on the Brahmaputra river in Assam. Okay, now do it yourself. Tell me, have you seen any bridge near your house? And what was the bridge built for? What kind of bridge it was? Okay, have you ever crossed a bridge while traveling in train? What was the bridge built for and what kind of bridge it was? So find this information and think about it and write it down. Alright, so children, remember the construction of a building requires different types of building materials and efforts of many people. A special kind of soil known as clay is required to make bricks. The construction work requires different tools and bridges are the structures used to cross the rivers, streams, valleys or sometimes even seas. So children, I hope now you have a very good insight of how houses are made, what are the things that are taken into consideration, what are the different types of bridges. So children, quickly reread the chapter. You can check and research more on them and then do the back exercises also.